Hello, everybody. I am here with Abagail today. We are going to be talking about Golden Six. I have so many messages from people that are like, well, here's my situation, giving me the whole rundown. I love messages, totally give them to me. That's fine. But I get like all of the messages and then they're like, is it going to work for me? And I have yet to hear of anybody that it's not working for at all in any capacity, right? So like it works for every color personality. It's a good system of doing things, but I don't want to talk about it, right? I don't want to say it. So we have Abagail right here. And Abagail, as you're talking, I'm going to be pulling the video up in front of me. So everybody that's watching, don't be like, oh my gosh, you're not even paying attention. No, I am. I have to bring up the video. So do you just want to say like maybe, well, who you are and a little bit of maybe your Young Living background?
Sure. So my name is Abagail Pumphrey. I am in Kansas City and I work this business full time with my husband, Jared. I started basically as a competition with myself. I wanted to see if I could pay for my oils every month. I just wanted to make enough that I could buy more on Essential Rewards. And that was my only goal. And it went well quickly. And so I grew my team fairly quickly to silver and then got stuck in stagnant, which is where Golden Six came in. And so we'll definitely talk about that. And I don't know, I really enjoyed the business, but I also run another business full time. And so that steals a lot of my energy and a lot of my daytime hours. And so I don't necessarily always get to spend as much time on Young Living as I would like to, even though it is my retirement plan. So I do have to make time for it.
I love that. I love that because there's probably over 75%. Now, I haven't done the stats. This is just my guess, but there's probably over 75% of the people out there that are working another business, whether it's a full-time job or whatever. If it's your business, if it's somebody else's business, doesn't matter. If working another business alongside their Young Living business. So it's showing also that it's okay to do that and that you can still grow. I personally spend about 2 hours a day on my Young Living business. Mm-hmm. So that's just, it can be done. And I was talking to my upline Platinum over the weekend, and she has the OGV for Diamond, just like it's not organized. So like she's there already, but she only spends 2 hours a day as well. So it's not like you need to be spending 12, 16, 18 hours a day on this stuff. Don't get caught up in the hype. And if somebody's telling you that, they are lying to your face, or they are wasting their own time and they're getting stuck in rabbit holes. Is what's going on.
I'm going to talk to you that amount of time a day. And most of this business is talking to other people.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. So let's see. So I'm going to ask the question, even though it kind of already was answered, but I'm just going to ask it. So what was your business like before Golden Six?
Yeah, so I mentioned that I grew to silver quickly and then got stuck. And part of that was having a level of distraction with this other business. If anyone who's ever built a business knows that it takes a lot of your attention, and wherever you put your attention, that's what thrives. And I was really interested in my other business being successful. And so I was spending a lot of my energy, my mental time, even though I wasn't necessarily working all of the time, I was spending my mental energy on that. And I had grown at a rate that made me a little bit tired. And so I was like, I'll just like see what happens. And so I just let it be what it was for a long time. And then my husband started to get really itchy at his job. Like he was like uncomfortable and not enjoying it. And he was like, I think I want to quit. And I was like, okay, I mean, we can make that work. Right. We've made it work before on one salary. but I mean, it just felt like a lot of pressure to all of a sudden be reliant 100% on businesses I had built myself as like our sole provider for insurance and all of the things. And so we were like, well, we're just going to make it work. So he quit in July, and that's when things got real. And I was like, it just can't keep squeaking by the way it's squeaking by. It needs to do more for me, and I want it to do more for me. Not always, but I guess once it started to gain momentum, I was like, Royal Crown Diamond or bust. Like, that's what's happening. And I didn't necessarily care about the timeline as long as I got there.
Right.
But the reality of us both being home was like, faster would be better for me. But the problem we were experiencing was that up until this point, I had enrolled the majority of our team, number one, and my husband has the desire to work and do the things, but he was not, I guess, what's the right word? He didn't feel confident in the sales department, and everything I was doing was not duplicatable. And so I needed a system that not only I could teach and empower him with, but I could empower my team and share that it's not really that hard, because I think they had convinced themselves that I'm like a unicorn and they're not capable, and that's not true at all.
Right. Yes. How many people have heard duplication is necessary? It needs to be duplicatable. It needs to be duplicatable. You hear it because it's true.
Right.
You can't bring people in on an organization and they can't succeed based on how you and your personality are, which is how we naturally sell as people or share or whatever you want to call it. So there has to be a system that allows like our own flavor and our own color to come through, but it still is a duplicatable system that is like the nuts and bolts. And then our flavor is kind of on top of it, which it's like the tablecloth, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but yeah. I was thinking of a Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So cool. So what did you think about before you got Golden 6? So as you yourself were on the fence and we're like, do I, don't I? Because it's still money, right? And you're like, I don't know. Like I waffle over things all the time. So, and then I go through the sales page over and over again, and I'm like, I don't know. So what were you thinking as you were going through, like, do I do it? Do I not do it with Golden 6?
Yeah. So I think a couple of the things I considered were, one, you personally really impressed me with your timeline. It took me 6 months to get to silver, but I was like, shit, if she can get to gold in 6 months, then I'm going to pay attention and listen up, because this is obviously a system that's working. But also, I've learned from a lot of the other leaders, and I've either done their 30-day whatever, or watched their Facebook videos, or done, 12 days of diamonds, or gone to Diamond Bound, or gone to convention. Like, I have done a lot of those things. And I felt like one of the things that was consistently missing was the, like, how do you actually do it? Like, not just, okay, here's an income producing activity. I can do the posts and but like the fortunes in the follow-up, and it's all about the relationship. And if there's no system around that, then you're not capitalizing on all this work that you're supposedly doing that are income producing activities. And so that was really frustrating to me. And I knew that it was in the follow-up, but I was like, what's the magic sauce? And so that was kind of what it came down to. And I don't know, I didn't think about it too much. Like, it was expensive. So I was like, heck, if I sell 1 or 2 kits, to me, it would have been worth the price of the program. And so even if it was a total gamble, like, say I hated it, but I effectively sold 1 or 2 kits, then it would have been good enough for me. But I've been blown away with how simple it is. And now I'm just like running with like blinders on.
How many kits have you sold since you took the course?
I think 10.
Dang. And when did you take it again?
Like 2 weeks ago.
I'm just going to let that sink in for some folks that may be picking themselves up off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, hot dang. I love it when you guys look at it and you make it yours, and there's no friction in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, if you own it and you do it, you can't help but be successful with it. Like, you just can't help it.
Well, and I think the cool part is, well, one, I can't claim all 10. One of them my husband sold, and that was a huge deal for him.
Right.
And so he was like, I guess I can do this too. And I guess it doesn't have to be salesy. And I don't know, I can write a curiosity post. Like, and so to me, all on its own, that was worth it for me, because he felt like he was empowered to not just do all the behind the scenes, because that's what he has been doing, is supporting our members once they're a member rather than attracting members.
Right. Yeah. I love that it helped him too, because so many people with Young Living and people that come on, they don't see themselves as salespeople, right?
Right.
And you don't need to be.
No.
Like, we're not selling crap cars here, guys.
No.
Like, this is like legit stuff that is helping people in so many ways. This isn't even selling, right? This is sharing.
Right.
Like, it's empowering, quite frankly, in my opinion. Oh my word, I just don't even know. Okay, so then I guess we kind of already got into this. So how did Golden 6 surprise you then? So whenever you did get it, I'm assuming 10 kits was surprising.
Yes, that was surprising. I think the biggest one was that it was short, which is like, it's funny to me, because outside of this, I sell online courses. And so I look at courses all day long, every day.
Yeah.
A lot of my courses are really meaty. And I was like, I don't know, I'm a little skeptical about these 4, 10 to 20 minute videos. But like, it doesn't need to be any more than that, which is why I think it's so successful. And she's like, I'm going to teach it to you, and the majority of your time is going to be spent you doing these things and you following up with the people. And I was like, all right, fine. So we watched it like half of it one evening, like super late, because we bought like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So we watched half of it, and the next morning we watched the other half, and then I think I sold a kit or two that same day. So
wow.
I just went and did the thing. And I think that's the biggest thing. You have to take action. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable a little bit. Like, none of this was like weird, which I appreciate.
Right.
Cold messaging people. I mean, you can, and people do that, but that's not what this is about. This is about finding people that already are interested in what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Coming to you, asking you the questions. Somebody said, oh my word, we have a lot. Nicole said, can you remind me how much the course is? So it's typically $117 right now, Nicole. If you're watching this video today, what is today?
Monday, the 14th.
Thank you. Where am I? Monday, October 14th. It's $77 right now. So I can put the link in later for you. So I love that. I love that, because that was another thing I was wondering whenever I made it. And obviously it very quickly was like, okay, yeah, that was good. But when I made it and it was so short, but I'm like, I'm not going to, because how many courses have you taken, like on Udemy or something like that, where so much of it is freaking fluff that like you have literally just spent 2 hours. You wasted 2 hours with fluff that didn't even teach you anything yet. And hopefully you'll learn something at some point in this course, but really, do you even know? And then do you quit? So this is like, here it is. It's like so direct and so right there that you can rewatch the videos over and over again if you need like ideas and stuff again.
Yeah.
And then what would you say to someone, and then if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask. What would you say to someone that's on the fence with it right now?
I mean, I would say stop it. Like, just get off the fence and join. And you are the single most thing holding yourself back from being successful. And if you put yourself out there, people already have a desire to have what you have to offer. They have a desire to work with you specifically because they like you. And these aren't necessarily like mystery new people. Like, it could be someone you've been talking to for years and you just frame it a little bit different. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, now I get it. Now it's not weird. Or now you're not being weird.
There it is. The wall isn't there anymore. And it's such a like MLM thing that we just dissolve it. Like it's just not even a thing in our world, which it shouldn't be a thing in our world.
Yeah.
What questions do you guys have? Do you have any questions? I'm going to wait a couple minutes to see if you do have any questions. I was going to ask you one thing a second ago and I completely forgot what it was.
Anything.
Oh, actually it was a statement. What I'm doing with my own team, just so you guys are very clear on like how I work my own team goes through Golden 6, you guys. Like that's when I have builders come on, they go through Golden 6 and they're going to be going through the Bring on the Builders challenge as well. That's coming up on Wednesday, but they go through all of this stuff as well. So don't think that like, I'm just giving a little piece of something to you guys. Like when I'm teaching you guys, I'm teaching my team also with you guys. So like it's everybody. You guys are getting all of the things. I'm not like pulling any punches or however that goes. Holding punch. I never get that sentence right. I don't know. Anyway.
You're not holding back. You're sharing what you're sharing.
Exactly. So that was my own concern when because I've done the things I think a lot of us share some of the same contacts on Facebook because we are in some of the same groups. Like I did some of those same leaders or, IPA groups and stuff like that. And I think I'm still in some of them because I just haven't canceled them yet because I'm one of those people. That's why I don't like subscriptions is because I always forget to cancel them. But that's
why other people love subscriptions.
I know.
To cancel them.
I know, but I freaking hate it. So that reminds me, I'm going to cancel my subscriptions today. It's going on a long list. So I know that I'm in those groups and things like that. And I just wasn't finding what needed to happen. Like for myself, I created this because it's what I used, but I created it for my team because there was nothing else out there and I had to create something for my team. So that's where this kind of came from. So if anybody's out there that's like, where did this even come from in the first place? It was bred out of sheer necessity. It was bred because it needed to happen. And I just wasn't seeing it out there. And when you don't see something out there, you make it yourself if you're able to make it yourself. So that's definitely what happened. Somebody said, Gina, just jumping on, but how long after implementing did you start seeing real growth? Did you get your return on your investment? Do you want to answer, Gina?
Yeah. So I sold my first kit the same day because I learned, within 24 hours, I sold my first kit. I had made my money back within 2 or 3 days. And then after that, when I'm actually working the system, I typically sell a kit a day. When I'm not working the system and not doing the work, I don't see results because it doesn't magically happen by itself. Yeah. So what does that mean? I took a couple days off, whatever. But one day I did sell 3 kits the same day. So like you just never know. And plus the thing that it builds upon each other, because you never really stop working the people you started with, like, because you're building these relationships. And so some people are going to convert right away, and some people might take a little more nurturing, a little more follow-up. They get distracted, because you can never assume wrong, or what is it, harmful intent, wrong intent, bad intent. I don't know. A lot of these people just like, their kid hit the button and it looked like they read a message and they weren't actually there. Or they were busy and they read something, completely forgot they read it, whatever. So people need follow-ups. And if you just stop assuming that they think you're terrible and that you're trying to get a sale from them, you'd be surprised.
Seriously, always assume positive intent, which is what you were, it seemed like you were going with.
Yes.
Always assume that people that they want to talk to you, because why wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you do? Did you send a bomb to their house? No.
Right.
Like,
one of the things that I think really struck me at convention, and I've said it and repeated it about 1 million times since then. I cannot remember her name. She is a Royal Crown Diamond, I think from Japan. But she's like, when you say your offer, when you put it out there and someone says no, it's like they said no to you offering a banana. And like, if you get it, if it's just as ridiculous as someone saying no to a banana, are you going to be offended that someone said no to your banana? Are you going to think like they think you're a terrible person because they don't want a banana right now? Or are they just not in the mood for a banana at the moment? And she said it way better than I did. But it's really struck me because I used to take a lot of this stuff so personally, and it's really not personal. It could be a whole slew of things going on with them. And sometimes those are the things you need to dig into, because I have not taken I'm good for an answer lately. And since then have found out on my team that someone had a miscarriage. Someone was recently diagnosed with MS. Someone else was diagnosed with lupus. I talked to someone else today who's having severe vestibular problems. Someone who hasn't pooped in a week. Like, you don't know what's going on in people's life unless you give them an opportunity to share from a genuine place. And I mean, it's been a little heavy for me to find all of those things out, but it also, I feel gifted that they like care enough to share and are feeling open and are willing and able to take help on. Like, they want support, so you can give that to them.
Exactly. We're not like selling stuff to people. We're suggesting things based on other people getting better using these same things. We're not saying that it's the end all. We're not saying it's the cure, but I heard this one girl took this and then she felt better. I don't know. Try it. Like, that's what we're doing. And people will take the gamble on themselves, or it's up to them to make that choice. But when you don't allow them to make that choice, they can't make that choice, right? Oh my word. I love that stuff. Somebody asked, Sarah Bailey said, so how is this course different from Silver and 90? I'm going to say something, and then whatever you want to say after that. There's a very a quick distinction with Silver and 90. Silver and 90 to me is how to generate the leads. It's IPAs. It's bringing the leads in. It's some mindset stuff. It's some sort of prepping your mind for business stuff, but then also like prepping it for this business, and your, your leadership and all of that. So that's what Silver and 90 is. Golden 6 is the framework. That's the foundation of the system that actually moves those leads that Silver and 90 brings in. It moves those leads through a system, or you'll now have a system to move them through to nurture them to become members. So don't wait till the end of Silver and 90 to pick up Golden 6, because that would be kind of backwards, although it sounds right. it's confusing and I get it. But Golden 6 is going to give you that framework and that system to push those leads through from Silver and 90. Okay. So if you're waiting for that reason, don't do it. You should be doing it right now. If that's the only thing that you're waiting on. If you're waiting on something else, it's totally on you. But if you're waiting because, you know, it seems like, well, I do this and then I do that, don't do that. Golden 6 should happen first.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, I had joined your group right when it started. Someone had invited me. I don't even know if it was called Silver and 90 at the time. Like it was, I don't know. You were talking about getting to gold and da 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 da. I literally paid zero attention and then just kept seeing this Golden 6 thing pop up. And I was like, this makes more sense to me. The thing with Silver and 90 is if you're missing Golden 6, you are just having a lot of conversations with people. And if you don't have the system to convert, it's not going to ultimately work. But like if say classes were your thing and you wanted to have all these conversations and then invite someone to an online class or an in-person class, then Silver and 90 would be fine. But if you're not converting in those classes or you want to try a different way to convert, this requires none of that. Like you don't have to have a big social following or, I mean, really anything. You just have to be able to type or talk on the computer or make a phone call. Like, because the principles are the same. So much so that I started to get a little cocky and confident, and I'm now in talks with someone I literally met checking out at Old Navy, and then someone else I met at the grocery store because I was a weirdo taking pictures in the middle of the grocery store. And we started a conversation, and I think I'm going to sell 2 kits to like random people because I don't get weird about how I talk about it anymore.
Isn't that the coolest thing?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's so empowering to people. Like if we were to look at this, so my vision for the world, and now we're going to get a little bit weird. My vision for like the world, when you look at your own personal timeline and you look at like what is going to happen because of this thing that's happening. Because right now, what's going on isn't the goal. It's what's going on right now. But the goal is much bigger, right? The goal is empowering every freaking person on the planet to understand how to take care of their health naturally and how to be able to actually sort of sidestep all of like the big 5 stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say that, how to sidestep and learn about that stuff so they can have their own homes be chemical free and they're not dying slowly, which is what we're apparently just doing these days in the US anyway. So, so that is the end goal. And this, you guys, this is how we get there is we make ourselves not weird anymore. We make ourselves totally comfortable and natural in sharing what we're sharing. And then we have a system of 1s and 2s or 0s and 1s or whatever to go through. So we don't even have to think about that stuff. Like it's just, it's like so hands off that it's like you just don't even, you don't really even have to think about it. Am I right?
Yeah, no. I mean, you have to, there's a little bit of organization, like as you start to get a lot of leads in, I think that can kind of be overwhelming, but for the most part, like I can run the system without instruction at this point. Yeah.
Somebody was asking something about lead groups. Let me see. And I'm going to say, go ahead and ask that in the Golden 6 group because it sounds like you're in Golden 6 already if you're using that term. I'm trying to go back to it real quick. Boy, I can't see it now. I don't know where it is. Do you wait till you have a lead group to start implementation, or what do you do before you come up with?
Here's the thing. I mean, I'll tell you my answer, but why wait? Like, sure, have a lead group, but ultimately, everyone that I've sold to, like, we weren't even getting them into the lead group before I sold to them,
right?
Or before they converted. So the lead group is really going to catch those other people longer term. And so it's definitely benefiting you. But if you're having a lot of conversations and they're not converting, you need to be able to send them somewhere. And so if you don't have a lead group, you're going to have problems later on. So I would
invite them later.
Like, don't make it a huge deal. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy to be effective.
Yeah. Get out of your own way. And that's another success mindset thing too. That's another thing that happens just when you're getting ready to do something really big that you know is going to change your life, like on a subconscious level or a conscious level. Usually it's subconscious because usually you don't even really realize your life's going to change that much. But on a subconscious level, if anything, you know that your life is about to blow up and things are about to start happening for you, and you're going to stub your own toe despite it. Like you're going to stand in your own way. You're going to say, well, do I need to have this? And do I need to have that? And yada, yada, yada. Get out of your own way and do the thing. Just do the thing. Because it's all laid out for you. Do the thing. It's really, if that's the only thing you hear today, that's the only thing you hear today, seriously. Well, cool. I think that's all. I mean, I think we're good. Did you have last thing that you wanted to say?
If you are in Golden 6 and you haven't seen results yet, I'm going to just say words that might not make sense if you haven't bought yet, but the offer is important. What you offer is important, because I think that was the game changer.
It is.
But I'm done. That's
it. That's some Jay Abraham stuff, by the way. I'm just saying. That was solid from Jay Abraham. Okay, cool. Well, and nobody knows who that is either, and that's fine. I'm a nerd, but everybody have an awesome day, and thank you so much, Abagail, for coming live with me and spending your time with me. I know you have your nephew over there, and you probably just want to like squeeze and cuddle him.
If you hear him screaming in the background, he's just playing on the floor.
I love screaming babies. So yeah, it's true. So have an awesome day, everybody, and we'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.